4, 3.
Hello, my name is Senator Malcolm Smith, and welcome once again at the Round Table with Senator Malcolm Smith. We've had some wonderful guests. If you've seen them, we've had the mayor of the city of New York, Mike Bloomberg, as they call him affectionately, Mayor Mike. We've had Reverend Floyd Flake, who I call the pastor of the United States of America. We've had LL Cool J, who, as you know, is doing a jumping ball contest. He's going to be doing it again in this year, 2006. We've had some of the Katrina victims. But I will tell you, no one has been on this show who has the more affection for the borough of Queens than the person that I'm about to introduce you to right now, and that is who we call affectionately the Queen of Queens, the borough president, Helen Marshall. Welcome to the show, Helen.
Hi, Malcolm. It's great to be here with you this afternoon.
Good to be with you. There's a lot of stuff to talk about, but here we are on the York College campus where we're filming this. I know this is one of your jewels of Queens, as you have so many of them. Tell me, how do you think they're doing? Where are they heading?
Education is very important to me. I am an educator. I served on the Higher Education Committee in the Assembly for 9 years, and I was the founding chair of the Higher Ed Committee in the City Council. So the universities of our city are very important. I just recently I read a little editorial letter, and it said, don't worry about free trade and all these things, our manufacturing is being moved out of the country. Just educate our people, because we will come up with ideas that are astronomical. We got to teach them to think out of the box, to think creatively, and that's how we keep things going. Here at York College, first of all, this college is very, very special and important to Queens. It's a 4-year college. Right. We only have 2 4-year colleges in the borough, this one and Queens College. And right now, I think you have an excellent president at the helm, Marcia Keys. I've known her all these years through my work with higher education. And before she even took office, she wanted to do it on February the 14th because it was Valentine's Day, and this is her love, okay? Right. And so before she took office for that, she came to my budget hearings and told us the things that she needed for the campus. And of course, we tried to accommodate our colleges. And one of the things that we're going to do, that whole pathway leading from Archer Avenue back to the campus, is going to be all done over beautifully. It's going to be a wonderful, wonderful place. Wait till you see when we fix that up.
There's a high school in the grounds here, right?
Yes. Yeah, we have a couple of things on the grounds here. We have the Bridge to Medicine, where youngsters begin to look at them in their junior high school years, their early high school years, and begin to open up careers for them they had no idea that they were talented in. And once they if the student gets fixed on seeking a career in the health profession, they begin to work with them. Biology, chemistry, math, all the things that they need. And they keep on moving, and they just get a more and more enriched program over the summer, straight into the Sophie Davis School of Medicine, which is on City College campus. And in 5 years, you can be a doctor on CUNY rates.
Is that right?
Yes. You go to a medical school, you know it costs a fortune.
Absolutely.
And the program was originally developed for minorities who were not given a break, and they also, our communities are underserved, and it would bring more doctors into our communities to serve them, and it's going very well. So that's in the science building right now. In addition to that, we have many students who take these specialized tests for Bronx Science and for Brooklyn Tech and so on, but we only have a certain amount of seats. So then there are many kids who passed that test, but they couldn't make it in. They decided that, first of all, that every single CUNY campus must must accommodate these young people with a high school education. And so here at York, we more recently got into the program, and the students were all ninth graders, and they were in portable classrooms outside. I believe that now they're also in the science building, because the whole idea of fixing up the science building would also benefit not only the Bridge to Medicine children, but these also.
So how are we, you are one of the, I guess, everybody talks about you in terms of education, and you're like the mother of New York City when it comes to education and educating our children. How are we doing in Queens with our schools and the seats? And I know you've been championing that from the first day that you were elected.
Right. Well, the first thing we have to do is to provide a seat for the youngsters. in a classroom with a reasonable amount of students in the class. And Queens, really and truly, our schools are doing pretty well, very well. Some of the things that we hear about schools and some of the horror stories, they don't really exist too much in Queens. Our biggest horror is that we're so overcrowded because our population is growing so fast. Everyone wants to live here. Everyone wants to work here. They want to build here. And also they want to start businesses here. So Queens is, we have a lot of landscape. You know, nearly every single patch of land is being built on, not only for the industry, but for various industries, but also residential. And if you see a couple of houses on a block that are kind of run down, before you know it, they're down.
Absolutely.
Here's the construction fence, and here comes 3 of them in its place.
That's right.
Well, we're very proud of that, and we like that. We've had so much development that the communities were beginning to be concerned. People like space. So they would take down a house and build what they call a McMansion, which is a very big house. Some of them are quite attractive, but on the other hand, if they're so out of line with the rest of the properties, and at one time we did zoning, we zoned the whole area one way. Today we almost do tailor-made zoning. We have this R2A, which is one that I never heard of before, but
that's a
evidently,
new one on me too.
But you know, they've had all these categories
Yeah.
which I didn't know about, and everybody was running for that because they felt that they wanted to keep the neighborhood with small, private homes. But then people were beginning to say, well, in fact, when we were out looking over an area, and I do go to the sites and look at them, look them over. City planning, which is on my floor in Borough Hall, works closely with my staff on that. And so we were out on a field trip looking over the community, and a lady came running over to us and she said, I don't want that zoning business. And so we said, why? She said, because I want to put a deck in my back, the back of my house. And so the lady from City Planning said, you could put a deck there. You know?
Right.
So people have to be knowledgeable
yeah.
of what they can and cannot do, but we are trying to protect our residential neighborhoods. And you know, we have the Board of Standards and Appeals. If you want to do something that's not really within the framework of the zoning law, you can go there, and if you can prove to them that you have a case, they will award it. And then, of course, there's the City Planning Commission that really covers all of the rezoning. We keep them very busy in Queens. And the other part of housing is a very big problem. We can't build it fast enough, but what we are building is just about all market rate. And families who doubled and tripled up, and a lot of that goes on with our immigrant population. They come, there's no place to live. Now, as soon as they can get out of there, they're out of there because they're paying a tremendous amount of rent, and it's not very comfortable. So as soon as they can get out, they will. But we still need more housing, but we need affordable housing. We need affordable housing. And today we've become very sophisticated in the housing market. We know there is 80% of the people pay market rate, 20% pay different levels of lower rent. And now we have 50, 30, 20, okay? So we're looking at all of that because I'm trying to get more affordable housing in the community. I'd love to do intergenerational housing. It's an idea that I have, and I haven't seen it yet, but I talked to all the developers, and one of them thinks that he might be able to work me. I'll tell you what it is, quickly.
Oh, take your time. It's
Well,
your show.
I was influential in getting about 3 senior citizen housing developments in my district. And I go to visit the seniors, and they're all sitting around, like usually in the lobby of the building or wherever they are sitting, and looking rather sad at one another. They've got crutches and wheelchairs. And I just feel that they need to be in touch with life too. They're alive, and they need to be in touch.
It's not over for them. Absolutely.
And so actually an opportunity came up. We had